The Buffalo Bills started training camp today. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Training camp. Try to go each and every day. I am not going to be able to go one day this year because my doctor wants me to have some sort of medical examination that he thinks is sort of an emergency. But I'm not going to be able to go on July 29th because of that. But everything else looks great. So, today, first day of camp, there was a little bit difference at the beginning of camp from what I've observed over the last couple of years of going to every day of camp. At the start of camp, there's usually a time when the guys come out and they, right before they start actual practice time, there's a little bit of a lag and, the guys are just sort of out there getting ready and stretched and everything. But before we could even get in today, guys were already out there practicing. And there was more of an intensity to it right off the bat. So if we can get those couple of minutes added on just by the guys being out there on their own, practicing and doing what needs to be done, that could add up and make that little step, that we need to get over the hump. And so I was really impressed by that. And as a matter of fact, one of our veteran players came out when he usually does and couldn't find where everybody was because they weren't over in the area that they usually are getting ready. They were already over, ready to practice with the rest of the team. Won't mention him by name, but it was sort of funny looking for him as he was looking for where the players were, where his teammates were. But yeah, that really great start. I'd also say, on a personal note, it meant a lot to me that AJ Epinesa made an effort to come over and talk to us. And by us, I mean myself and my wife, and to tell us that he really appreciates us as fans, and he wanted to let us know that. And he sought us out to come over and say that to us, and I appreciate AJ for doing that. There were some other things that happened before practice that I'll get to in a minute, but and then after practice, Dion Dawkins made an effort to do a similar thing as he walked across the field, and he and his wife talked to us for a little bit. So it's nice to have players making an effort to come talk to me a little bit. So, I love all these guys that are on our team. Anybody that's on our team, you've now become part of the Mafia family in my mind. So I love you. As far as practice goes beyond that, I thought that Elijah Moore had a really good practice at wide receiver. He had some nice catches. He looked more in sync than Joshua Palmer did with Josh Allen. Palmer and Allen stayed a little bit after practice, though, and did work on that a little bit, but it seemed like Elijah Moore at this moment is a step ahead of Palmer on that tree of who's going to get one of those wide receiver spots that's left. As Coleman and Shakir have two of them locked down for sure. The other guy that I thought had a great practice is a guy that some people didn't think was even going to practice today, and that's James Cook. I think the media might be blowing this thing out of proportion because James Cook looked really good today. He had some passes on swing routes out of the backfield. One of them went in for a touchdown. They did a lot of sort of red zone work today. Didn't really open up the field a lot. They're not in pads. As we say every year at the start of training camp, when they're not in pads, it's a little bit hard to judge some things. But we did get a good pass rush out of Dwayne Carter at one point, and some other guys on the team looked good, but it's really hard to judge. On the defensive back side of the thing, Harrison had a nice breakup. Taylor Rapp had a nice play. and Christian Benford as well. So those guys were playing well. I thought it was interesting that I think his name's Haas, the new guy on the team that's supposed to be known as the blocking tight end, had a nice catch for a touchdown. And then Davidson, who's supposed to be more known as the catching tight end, had a ball go through his hands. Also had, excuse me a little bit of a second, there we go. Also had our running back, Mr. Third string there, or not third string, Mr. Third Down, Ty Johnson. He had a ball go through his hands, and he immediately hit the ground and did push-ups. So appreciate those guys. And this is some things that just happened during camp. The biggest news on the injury side, Dawson Knox was not practicing today. Not sure what his injury was, but he was out there and spent a lot of time after the game with his newlywed wife. And they were talking for a long time out there. So those are some of the things from practice. I do think that some of the guys, like just seeing Jackson in person, the guy's impressive. Very impressive, much more than I thought he would be. Had a chance to talk to TJ Sanders real quick, more about why there wasn't any water out on the field. I don't know what the equipment managers were doing before the practice, because they were actually a little slack on that. They couldn't get the one water thing to work, and then the cooler only had Gatorade in it. So guys didn't want to drink Gatorade. They wanted to drink some water. There wasn't any water over in that particular area of the field. I tried to tell some people to help their guys out, but no one cared what I was saying about there needing to be water. I mean, I'm sure there was other places, but that one corner apparently just got left out. So hopefully our equipment staff will work better on that. I know that in past practices, we've had some equipment people that run all over the field, and you can see them sprinting the whole practice. A couple of years ago, we made friends with one of them just because she was working so hard. She went on to work for the Colts after that, and I think on to college football. So maybe that's just one area they need to work on. I'm going to get some insight here from a fan that you might not expect. I think their equipment staff was a little lacking today on that. But their coaches weren't. Their coaches really, really put on a great practice today. The guys were never lagging at all. They went from drill to drill, moving to next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So my MVP for the day is actually going to be our coaching staff. The punter looked good. I saw KJ Hamler down there on punt return. Didn't really notice anybody else. I was lucky enough today at the first day of practice to be with a family that means a lot to us, that they were able to be there as well. So we were spending a lot of time with them. So I missed some of the action on the field, but really don't care because I enjoy spending so much time with that family. Other things that happened during practice. Well, this one's the first one was after practice. Travis White was out there at the first unit, by the way. It was him and Christian Benford. Maybe they just because Harrison's a rookie, they don't want to put him out there right away, but Trey looked good. So did Christian. This picture is from a couple of years ago. You can see on there, he scribbled his name. I might actually try to get him to sign that again. When he signed that for me at this practice, he actually still had his helmet on, which I thought was interesting after practice. And he said he's going to need $100 for signing that picture. Well, I'm not giving him $100. I think he was just kidding. And then Dorian Strong came over to me and signed this for me. Dorian, one of our later draft picks. We've heard a lot about him already. Has some really great practices, a defensive back. I told him he's on some people's radar already, and he said, I'm just working on it day by day. I'll keep working on it, keep going, keep working day by day by day. And I told him, just keep going, keep lifting him up. So I appreciated that. And then another new addition to our team, Michael Hoecht. I actually heard him say that was a good day one practice before he came over to me. He talked for a while. He has shaved his head for training camp, probably just to try to avoid some of the heat. But he liked this picture and showed a few people with his hair. He liked having hair, but he has shaved his head for training camp. That guy is a great guy. He talked to my wife for a while about Canada, about playing for the Rams, about some different things, and you could tell that he's outgoing and that he appreciates our fans. I know he's suspended for a couple of games, but great guy, and I told him I'm excited to see when he can actually play on the team, and he said he can't wait. And then, okay, so those of you that have watched my videos in the past, you know there's a couple players I've really been trying to get autographs from that are starters. And we took a sign. One of my YouTube friends told me, suggested I take a sign, and Derek. And I did. We took a sign just to try it out this time, and it said, "I want David Edwards' autograph." And David came over before practice started even and signed this for me. So now I have all of the starters on the offensive line's autographs. I have Alec Anderson as well and Ryan Vandermark. So we're getting up there. I know there's a couple of new offensive linemen. I don't have them yet, but I'm really, really happy today to be able to add David Edwards to the collection. You see I've got a lot of players up here. Some of them, like Schmoot here, are no longer on the team, but most of the guys are on the team still. And they're all autographs that I've gotten personally, either at training camp or at a Bills game or other functions. So, yeah, it's nice to be able to meet these guys, talk to these guys. And again, I appreciate AJ Epinesa and Dion Dawkins for making an effort to come over and talk to us. And AJ, I told him, you know, I watched Cover One, and you can see on there they've talked about how when he's down in his stance. So I told him, make sure you're getting as low as you can in your stance. Get as low as you can. That's the explosive time that you're getting the most sacks. You're having the best plays when you're as low as you can pre-snap. He said, I'm working on it. I'm going to be working on that. I'm working on that this training camp. So I hope the Cover One guys appreciate me passing that word on. So, yeah, great day one. Great day one. Again, MVP of practice going to the coaches. You can feel the energy in the air. You can feel more intensity, and it's a good intensity. Saw a video from another team in the NFL that they already had a fight at their practice. I don't think we're at fight status. We don't even have pads on yet, so we're not hitting. They're not going 100%, which is why I think the defense was able to break up a couple of passes, because if they're not going 100 on offense, maybe you can play just a little bit quicker on defense and knock down a pass. So that's just one of my thoughts. Backup quarterback situation, I thought Mike White had a good practice. I'm not a fan of Shane Buechele. And Trubisky was holding the ball a little bit too long, in my opinion. So obviously the starter's Josh Allen. As a league MVP, he's not really have a problem with his job security. It was nice to see the players out there, nice to see some of their family as well after practice. Bringing up Dion Dawkins, but he played with his kids and some other families' kids after practice. He's great for that. You know Dion, Snowman. Yeah, I'm sure that he can get along with anybody's kids to just play and have fun with. And boy, Terrell Bernard, you saw him holding his little baby. This baby's so little. It was so adorable. And Connor McGovern pushing his baby's stroller with his wife behind him, looked like a proud papa. So yeah. Oh, Alec Anderson, I had a discussion with him. He is going to be I asked him if he was going to be our tackle eligible again this year. He said all day, all night. And I asked him, going to catch a touchdown this year. He said, that's one of my goals. And when I do, I'm going to show everybody my belly. I can't wait for that. He was shaking his belly and congratulated on his recent marriage. He said that, thanks, that meant a lot to him. So anyway, great first day of camp. Looking forward to another day tomorrow. Going to be another great day. Hopefully we can continue working on the things that can make us get even bigger and even stronger day by day as we grow and get even better with the team. Oh, one more thing. Tyler Bass had some great kicks today. Made them all. So with that, I say, go Bills! Remember, God loves you, and so do I, and be good, do good, God bless, and go, 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 Bills.